All right, give him a hand as he comes on up here. This is Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
All right, so our second presenter is Jeff, who is here tonight by himself.
I am. My lovely wife is home with 3 children.
Bekka, yes.
1, 3, and 5-year-old, and I don't think y'all wanted them in this room, so.
They would have been fun.
It would have been fun, for sure. I'm a commercial landscaper. Let's see, my wife and I have been married, we're going on 8 years. I'm a commercial landscaper, been doing that here in the city of Houston and surrounding areas for about 10 years now. We have, 53 properties that we maintain. My wife is a online liaison for a website developing group, as well as a office manager, and runs everything else with her other part-time job that she does, which allows her to be at home and travel to Mother's Day out and drop the kids off, pick the kids up, stuff like that. I joined in March of 22 after doing the 4-day, which, do y'all do that anymore?
Yes.
We still do the 4-day.
I listened to Scott out of Detroit in February of last year, and then joined in March. And then I think our first meeting was April? Late April?
Yes.
Okay.
So tell them about our meeting. What
It was fun. It was at the Pacific Taco place down off of Washington, and you walked in, you're like, who the hell is this guy? He's dirty and wearing like a hat, and this is weird. But no, it was great.
So I'll tell the story.
Okay.
So what happens is that when after you've joined and done the education and the orientation, you reach out to the mentors and we sit down and meet with you. And nowadays we do things online, Zoom or over the phone. But Jeff said, I want to meet with you in person. If you're going to be my mentor, I want to meet you in person.
I did say that. Yes.
You did, right?
Yes.
And I said, okay, that's fine. I'm happy to meet you. If that means it will get you going and get you to your goal, I am happy to meet with you. However, you're going to come and meet me inside the loop.
Right. Yeah, no, we live out in Katy, so Houston traffic.
We split, yes.
Houston traffic sucks.
We met halfway. Right, okay. All right. So tell us about...
Pin Money down in Clute was actually my second deal with Jennifer McCormick. My first deal we bought in August. This one I bought in September. Did 2 rehabs at once, which I personally don't suggest. That was not my smartest decision ever.
Lost some sleep over that, huh?
Yeah, very much so. Okay. Let's see.
Right out of the gate,
And
too.
one of them took 6 weeks, and the other one...
Talk about it.
Yeah.
What did I say about 2 rehabs?
Don't do this.
All right.
Yeah.
So where did he have to go? To the back of the book.
Yes.
Back of the book. But let's see, so, and I did some work here too, because I'm a landscaper, is one of those occupational hazards. This is a cute little 3-1 that the garage was already converted. The picture on the left used to be a solid wall, and they had kind of a separate room between the two. J&W Construction Services was my contractor on this one, but we opened it up, put a subfloor so that way it's one seamless room as you walk into that front door. The kitchen, we sanded and painted the countertop, or sanded and painted the cabinets, put in granite countertops. I didn't have to supply a fridge. We put an electric stove on a microwave.
Yes, so this weekend, Chris is going to tell you what we put in the kitchens and what we don't put in the kitchen, right?
But I've got tile in these 2 areas of the rooms.
Were the tiles there?
The tiles were here,
Okay.
and then I tried my darndest to match tiles to the remainder of the living room, which was, once again, doing work. But, sorry, the back of the book. But the rest of the house had original hardwood floors that were covered in carpet, so had those refinished. Which, you have a photo of that, maybe?
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
So pre and post, which is awesome,
Yes.
to have the original hardwood floors throughout the house. In those 3 bedrooms.
Yes. So if you buy a house that has a hardwood floor, I mean,
Which is my current house.
Yes, it's really
yeah,
nice
which
to
is awesome.
see those refinished floors for sure. Okay, let's talk numbers.
So bought it for 110.
Okay.
Sorry, you. My bad.
Okay, so that's fine. So the purchase price was 110. Rehab was 37. So that was a small, short rehab. How long did it take you?
5 weeks.
Okay, 5 weeks. Okay, very good. ARV is $183,000, and your cash out of pocket was $22,000. Rent is $14.25, which makes a cash flow of $388 a month, and your cash-on-cash return is 21%. So again, you give the bank $22,000, they give you $388 dollars every month. That's 21% on, return on your investment or deposit or savings account, whatever it may be. And the equity capture is $47,000. That's about 200%.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Okay.
and I had it rented out in 24 hours. I put a sign out and had 23 phone calls in 24 hours from people. It's right next to a junior high school. The mail lady even called me and congratulated me, like, thank you so much for doing this. I've been passing on this route for the last 8 years, which was pretty impressive. But yeah, it was rented out in 24 hours.
Was this a blast, or I don't remember a
Yeah,
recall?
it was.
a blast.
Jennifer
Okay.
sent me down, or sent it out. I met her down there.
Yes.
And was able to hash out a deal
Yes.
pretty quick.
So it's very good to have a good working relationship with the realtors, and they're a major asset, to add to your team. Okay, I mean, they make your life easy, just like Chris. They land a deal in your mailbox, or sometimes they just make a phone call, like, "Hey, Matt, I have a house right down the street from the house you bought from me a couple months ago. Do you want it?" Right. Okay.
Wait, you just jumped right over the equity capture.
Hey, I thought it was 200%. Equity capture is $47,000, in comparison to 22 out of pocket. So that makes about 200% return on equity.
That was me throwing a lifeline. That's awesome. Did you get excited
is
about that? I
awesome,
mean,
yes,
heck yeah. Who's more excited about that, you or your wife?
Yes.
Yes. So 350% on the first deal, 200 and some odd percent on the
Yeah,
second.
200 and some
Who
change.
wants deal one? Who wants deal two? Who's going to take both? Yeah, right.
Absolutely. All right. So 3 single-family houses in your portfolio,
Yes.
totaling $14,000 cash flow, on an annualized basis, and the equity capture on all 3 of them adds up to $114,000.
Now, cool thing about that cash flow,
The cool thing
and
about
when
that
you
cash
do
flow-
it right, it's tax-free.
Yes,
So
it
you just
would
gave
be.
yourself roughly a $22,000 raise.
Roughly, yes.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool, huh?
That sounds awesome.
All right, who's managing these properties?
I am.
How many phone calls a month do you get?
Let's see. I got one. I think 2 months ago, or Christmas. I got one.
Okay.
The gas line.
3 months ago. Okay.
3 months ago, and that was it. Actually,
Haven't heard from anybody since.
everything's brand new. Flooring, roofing, siding of the
AC.
house, HVAC,
Water heater.
water heater,
So if you do it right, nobody will call you.
and it was
Okay.
all included with the price of the rehab and the purchase of the house. So there wasn't any additional cost. Like, all of those numbers are already built in, and so you don't have an additional cost of something snake biting you, which is a
All
good
right.
thing.
Very good.
Way to go.
Oh boy, let's see. Not much so yet.
We have a quote
so-
from you.
Not living the lifestyle.
Right, not
yet.
living the lifestyle.
Yes.
Still have 3 kids that drive me crazy. I mean, we bought a new car, so that extra expense has been taken care of by one of those houses from our previous amount that we
Very good.
did owe. Taking a few more vacations with the camper this year,
Very
which is a
good.
plus.
All right.
But yeah,
All right.
getting there.
Very good. Very good. Short-term goals, long-term goals.
Short-term goals, hopefully
Increase
2
your
more by
cash-
the end of the year.
Okay, so
Which would
increase
be
your
5
cash flow.
total.
All right.
Long-term goals, obviously retired. I mean, I'd like to get my wife retired first, just because. I don't think she'd want me in the house any longer than I already am. But yeah, I'd like to be retired by 50. I'm 37, so I've got 13 years to get there, and I'm hoping I can beat that. I'm gonna beat that.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Does anybody have who's on your? Let's talk about
Oh,
your
let's see. Mentors, yes. Pend, Sorrel,
and Doug. So
and Doug, yeah.
We're all
absolutely.
here to help
yeah,
you.
Yeah, yep. Every house that was on that list was from, let's see, 1 from Jennifer, 2 from Moon, but was from part of the email blast. Just got in my email, 8 o'clock in the morning. J&W has been my construction services company on all 3 houses. I've used Red Door with David Hoke and Crystal on all 3 houses. And then my inspector was inspections by Pat on all 3 houses.
All right. Any questions for Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Are all your properties kind of in the same area?
Yes, so.
Question,
oh,
are all the properties in the same area? Sorry, it's for the people online who cannot hear. Are all your properties in the same area?
2 in Clute and 1 in Angleton.
So that
yes.
makes what, for the people who are not from here, how far,
Let's see,
within the-
from downtown Houston, 50 miles.
how far away from each other are they?
Oh, one
Clute and Angleton, how far?
10 minutes.
Okay, all right.
One's a mile from the other one, and then the other one, Angleton one is about maybe 10 minutes from there.
Okay, so we can safely say within the same area because these are a very small town,
Right.
okay? Yes, sir.
Out of pocket was 22,000, right? What about the rehab cost?
The rehab on that one was 37.
37.
Was that out of pocket or was that financed?
So
Okay, so Chris will go over that this weekend. Usually the rehab budget is rolled into the loan,
the hard money
the
loan.
hard money loan.
So it was in
So
the
you
loan?
float it, and then it comes back to you through your hard money, because they give you, what, 75% loan to value?
75% of the ARV, and
Of the
Chris
ARV.
will talk about this weekend.
Yeah, we'll go over this weekend. If you want to back up 3 slides when we get to the numbers, when you talk about hard money, everything's based on that after repaired value or the appraised value. So we're taking 75% of that number, and that's what the bank is giving us. So when you see that purchase price of 110, but the bank's going to loan, was that
140.
140-ish? All he has to do is close the gap between what he really needs and how much the bank is giving him. So he only needed 150, let's say 162,000, and the bank was giving him 140. So that's why he came out of pocket 22. And I'll go into that in deep detail. We've got calculators. We'll do math on the board. It'll make a lot more sense if you come into one of the seminars. I can spend a lot more time on it. Great question, though.
Yes, ma'am, behind you.
So how about the qualification that you have to go through in order to obtain a loan?
I submitted W-2s for myself. Actually, this is my wife's house. So we did it separate just because Fannie Mae allows you 10 apiece. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But with that first one, because my first one was still under rehab, I needed her W-2 and all of her bank statements and stuff. We kind of keep stuff somewhat separate, together. But she was able to get approved for this loan herself.
Chris will go over all the financing terms and how you can structure, how we buy houses, the Lifestyles way, this weekend. But I can tell you just quickly, just like he did, I have 10 houses under my name and my husband has 10 houses under his name, all Fannie Mae loan. Okay?
And she's never seen it.
Yes, and my
I mean,
husband has,
she signed papers in a parking lot.
yes.
So yeah, no,
Make
there's
this sound like a really seedy deal.
for her it was great.
The question is,
For
does she
her.
get to use the cash flow?
It's all hers.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all hers. Way to go.
It's all hers.
All right, man.
My husband owns 10 houses. He can tell you the address of one of them. Truly.
Got one online question.
Yes.
How many houses did you look at before you bought the 3?
Oh geez.
So what's your real estate experience and how many?
Oh gosh. I mean, I before I had this class or any of this instruction, I'm a kind of a nerd in looking at real estate anyway. Probably physically looked at probably 20 before I pulled the trigger, and it's that first one that gets you over the hump that just scares the living daylights out of you.
Oh, it's
But-
not that bad.
Yes.
It's pretty bad.
No.
It was for me. It was pretty
For
bad.
you, it was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then-
There's people in here already looking at
I met her in
Realtor.com
April, and I
trying to buy
bought this in August. So I was more than that 30 days or 27 days that they use.
Okay,
but-
so this is a good example, right? So Brian Kristen bought a house within 2 weeks. It
I
took
took
him
4
11
months.
3 months. Yes.
3 months.
It's just because, okay, 4.
Right,
It's just,
yeah.
it's just whatever you are, but don't take 12 months before you buy something.
no,
Or don't wait until your membership is about to expire to say, oh wait, I need to buy a house before my membership.
So
expires.
but I'm on-
recap that. 3 months to buy the first,
Yes.
and then 2 weeks after you
I bought the
close to
second.
buy the second.
And then 2 months to buy the third.
Okay.
3 months to buy
Confidence
the-
and competence. That's all it
Absolutely.
was.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally escaped me there for a moment, yes.
So the common theme between Brian, Kristen, and Jeff is that the more you buy, the more confident you become, right? The first house is always the scariest, but once you do it, you get the first one out of the way, it's truly down the hill from there, right?
Yep. All right, I think we got one more question over here, then we're gonna
What
wrap
were
it
the
up.
interest rates?
What is the interest rate?
Let's see, I used a private lender. The first one was 3 and some change. This next one was 4 and some change. My last one's gonna be almost 6. So, fairly decent.
Okay. Yes, that's very decent interest rate. Okay?
I get the last question.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You're 37.
I'm 37.
All right, what would you tell the new people in the room that may be a little older than 37 or a little younger than 37?
I should have done this at 25.
Right.
There's your answer.
Ah,
All right, thank you so much.
you.